The Africa Climate Forum is a premier platform dedicated to advancing climate action and sustainable development on the African continent, building on the success of our inaugural edition. The second Africa Climate Forum 2024 will focus on addressing the critical issue of energy transition in Africa. Consequently, the 2024 African Climate Forum Summit on Climate Resistance, Sustainable Development and Green Innovation is underway in Abuja. And we will join Charles Alpha, who is at the venue of the event, to give us an update on the proceedings there. Good morning, Charles.
Comfort, good morning.
All right, Charles Alpha, what's the proceeding there? What's the plan towards ensuring that issue of climate change is addressed?
Okay, Comfort, thank you very much, and all of those viewers watching. I want to say thank you for hooking me up right now. Now, the thing is, there are a lot of global climate crisis that not only Nigeria or some of the African countries are suffering from. And what is happening here, it's coming on the heels of the African Climate Summit back then in Nairobi in 2023, where African leaders decided to unite, collaborate, and sort themselves out internally, given the kind of resources that they have in Africa. And there are a lot of global treaties that are being reached, a lot of global commitments, global decisions that are affecting developing countries. And you talk about the net zero target, you talk about the biodiversity target, you talk about the climate plastic management in South Korea, which is coming next month, where countries will have to decide on a lot of treaties and how they can. These are some of the global decisions that developing countries are suffering from. And why are they suffering from this? They lack the wherewithal, they lack the resources to be able to deal with some of the climate actions that they have. And so what this event is all about is sorting their solutions internally. What this climate summit, African Climate Forum, it's all about is trying to provide a kind of mechanism for African leaders to be able to look inward and see how can they pull resources together to be able to overcome the kind of climate impact that we are seeing. Nigeria recently had its own fair share of the flood impact that we saw in Borno State. So basically, we are having political leaders, government officials, policymakers that are here who are meeting to shed lights on how best can Africa galvanize resources, pull investment together to be able to mitigate the kind of climate impact that we'll see. Africa can no longer continue to depend on the kind of handouts that the big countries are giving out to African countries. You talk about Germany, for instance. You talk about the United States, for instance. You talk about France and a whole lot of developed world who are the biggest emitters, contributing to global warming, whereas Africa is contributing less to, the global impact that we are having here today. So what this forum basically is all about is how to galvanize African leaders to be able to get the kind of resources that they need to mitigate their own climate action, develop their own climate action plans, and see how they can move from there.
Thank you so much, Charles Alpha, for the update from the venue of the event there. We know